What do you think their actual intention is? Like the people that are pulling the strings of this whole entire web?
To feed off of our suffering, because that's their food of choice, and to maintain power over the world, and probably get it to a point where we just keep sacrificing ourselves willingly, and they keep eating that death and fear. They like it if we're plugged into the metaverse, probably, so we're not even a problem in the physical world, so they can crawl out of their human skin suits and crawl around in their lizard outfit, in their lizard skin, and just, populate Earth with their lizard children until the asteroid comes.
And part of me is like, why do we have to care? Like, I'm not going to a freak off.
Because,
so it's like, why are we so tapped in?
Well, totally. Because for many reasons, they're mutilating the future.
That's true.
I have children who are going to inherit that future, and that future will be governed probably by more of these evil people, and they're hypocrites, and they are in power, and they want nothing more than to destroy you and rob you.
So it's fine that I care, because part of me was like, should I even be checked into this frequency, or should I just try to go to church, just try to be nice in my community?
You should do that too.
Blind eye.
No, you should do that too.
Hand-blown cups.
You gotta do both.
Yeah, you have to do both. You should never enter the darkness without the armor of the Lord.
That's right. That's it. Dude, totally. It's totally true. I want to help build my community and build my church. I love going to church, and that Bible and the gospel has become for me.
Are you Catholic, or are you what kind of church?
Christian, just good old Christian. I read the Bible.
So, because I'm disappointed always, because I go to a Catholic church and they'll never talk about trending topics.
Oh, we do.
They don't. Catholic church, they just stick to the same. Every church does the same sermon each week. But your church, do they talk about these types of topics?
To a degree, yeah, we do. And I go to 2 churches now on Sundays. So I go to one smaller church, and that's the smaller one is where we talk about more current stuff. And
what are they saying?
Oh, well, most everyone who goes to a heretical church is agreeing that the world is run by demons, and we need to pray. And Trump is, a lot of people in West Virginia don't really like Trump's personality, because he's this brash character, not so couth. Me being from New York, he's like everyone I knew. He's not that surprising to me. And I married into an Italian Greek family who everyone's just kind of loud and brash. I love it. So they're worried about his personality, but they love his policies, and they know that he's probably not the best Christian. Well, not probably, definitely. If you ask him about what his favorite Bible verse is, he can't really tell you. I don't think he cares.
He doesn't care.
But I think he cares about people. I think he does care about religion to his extent. I don't think he practices all that much, but people have had flawed pasts,
but who are we to judge?
Right. I'm not going to judge him.
I don't read the Bible that often.
And it's fine. You should, though, because it's amazing.
I get the donuts. I say peace to the nice women around me at the church.
And it's good. It's good to have manners and be good, but it's good I like going to church now for many reasons, but it's helping give my kids a foundation and a blueprint through suffering to joy and eternal life, but also learning about how much evil there really is. And it's telling you from the beginning, evil's always been there. And that same evil is the same evil we were talking about this whole episode. The same evil that wants to destroy your children, to go after your children in the GATE program, to take all your money, make you destitute, pop you filled with drugs, and then make you love artists who are doing horrible things, who then come out publicly and tell you you're bad for having morals and that you should vote a certain way. That goes against those morals. And that's kind of how I
feel about this whole thing. It's like, we need to find better idols.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're out there, but you shouldn't have an idol. That's the thing.
Exactly.
No idols, but we should have.
People are worshiping these celebrities, and then they're finding out it's like their reality shattered.
Right.
So we shouldn't have been worshiping these false prophets to begin with.
Isn't it interesting? I know it's kind of been memed a lot about the Super Bowl being the superb owl, which goes back to Moloch and the Bohemian Grove and all this stuff. But Usher played the last Super Bowl. Isn't that interesting?
Wait, who did?
Usher. Usher.
Oh, I was just thinking about that.
Isn't that weird? That, again, is part of this whole little slow drip of disclosure.
And I met Kim Kardashian's head PR woman did this. I met her the day I met Ye. She used to work for Ye.
Okay.
And it was the day after the Super Bowl, and or it was a week before the Super Bowl, but it was right when that ad came out,
right, yeah.
where Usher had the peach. So I asked her, I was like, what's up with the peach? And she goes, actually, that wasn't our choice. Like, he wanted to do the peach. So now I'm like, is that because where he comes from? Or then there's Justin Bieber, peaches. I don't know.
Weird.
There's something with the peach.
I thought Usher was an interesting choice already to play the Super Bowl.
Yeah, because it's not like he does have a lot of good hits, though.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, he's
But
super
it was
talented.
weird.
It was weird, but now in retrospect, with the Diddy stuff happening and the Cat Williams podcast, it's almost like the people who are pulling the strings behind the scenes are like, let's show the American public and the world Usher again.
A great side of Usher.
Yeah, and then we're going to make everyone think that he was raped by Diddy, in just a few months' time. And we're going to show you Diddy getting arrested, and everything from the 90s will be destroyed, and their childhoods are all a lie, because they were.
Oh, my God.
So that's what I think.
I think Cal Mitchell's safe.
Wait, who's that?
Keenan and Cal.
Okay.
Because Cal never made it. Keenan made it. Cal never made it.
Yeah. So Keenan's not safe, is what you're saying?
I mean, he's on SNL. Like, he's a puppet of Lorne Michael. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I always thought Cal was the more talented one, and Cal never made it in the industry, and I always wondered why.
That is interesting.
Didn't he become a Christian?
Kel might have become a Christian.
That's probably why. Just like Maze, who became a Christian after being around Diddy. That was weird.
So Kel did make it in the proper way. But yeah, Mace.
Yeah, he didn't make it in the mainstream. I always wondered why.
Speaking of Mace, I mean, we got to wrap it up soon, but like Mace, for those who don't know, quit rap in the 90s after the huge success, literally said out loud, because I'm leading people to hell by doing this.
I gotta do it. There's too many. How are we supposed to cover all these topics?
I know. But he literally said that out loud on radio, and then I think he became a pastor.
Did he?
And he's not the only one from rap. I mean,
he had was he the one with the crucifixion video, or was that Diddy?
The crucifixion video. I don't remember.
I thought Mace had a music video where the whole time he's being crucified.
It's not just him. Like, and this is all like that rap world, Kanye world, Diddy world. Clips, big group, not that far from where we are. They're from Virginia. The brothers Pusha and Malice. Malice left rap and he became No Malice, and I believe a pastor, or at least very religious. A lot of people in that world see that there's some super dark stuff going on, and it's not just rap.
We didn't even get into Lou Taylor.
Oh yeah, can you give us a quick rundown?
Yeah, so back in May, I wrote a deep dive about Lou Taylor. I first learned about Lou Taylor back in 2020 when I lived near the courthouse downtown where the Free Britney trial was happening. Every week, a sea of women and gay men in hot pink outfits would show up with pom-poms and protest, the pop queen's freedom. And
was that a good idea in retrospect?
This is in 2020.
Was that a good idea in retrospect, freeing Britney?
Well, let's if she's even Britney.
Oh,
so
nice. All right, back to Lou Taylor.
So it started off with just like 10 people, and I remember very distinctly all of their signs were investigate Lou Taylor, and I was like, who's that? So I would talk to these people, and then each protest it amplified, and by the end of it, there was thousands of people there, so much media, but all of their signs always talked about how they called her Lucifer Taylor. Wow. She has been known as like the one that put her in the conservatorship. She tried putting Lindsay Lohan in a conservatorship, and she was Diddy's business manager, who was recently her agency, TriStar Entertainment, also started working with Kim Kardashian after the Kanye divorce and managed the trust. And then she was named recently, her TriStar Entertainment was named in the Little Rod lawsuit because her partner, Robin Greenhill, was allegedly wiring the money to the sex workers and prostitutes. So the day that on May 29th, when they were talking about Diddy having a grand jury, there was actually police cars outside Lou Taylor's office. So the Free Britney fans went wild because they're like, finally, like this evil witch is going to be investigated. Whoa. The weird part is she's like from near my hometown in like Rochester, New York. She was just some volleyball player from like Henrietta, New York. And then she moved to Florida and she got a job with someone that was like I'll have to revisit the deep dive, but they were kind of like a big sports entertainment agent at the time. And she met Diddy in the 90s. Her and Diddy go way back. And if you look in the deep dive, there's people that speculate that Diddy was the one that drugged Britney Spears before her terrible VMA performance. That is what caused her to be in the conservatorship.
Holy crap.
There's photos of Britney Spears, Cassie, Diddy, and Paris Hilton at a Vegas nightclub back in the early 2000s. And then the next day is when Britney went on stage and fumbled the performance, and everyone said she was unwell, and that's when she got her kids taken away. And now people are speculating that Diddy drugged her before that performance. There's a lot of
crap.
And Lou and Lou is Diddy's business manager, and she's who put. There's so much with Lou Taylor.
That's crazy.
So now the crazy part is yesterday. So I wrote this article with House and Habit in May. New York Post or New York Times, and one of them posted it yesterday. Oh, and it's like, oh, they're finally investigating Lou Taylor. Also, she has links to Irving Azoff. Like, there's a lot.
Man.
And Azoff is best friends with Kim Kardashian. Azoff's daughter and Kim are childhood besties. There's just so much to this web, and it's so connected. Yeah. But it's like, who will be protected and who will fall? I don't know.
Remains to be seen. All right, Emily, this was a fun one. Where can people find you online? Where can they read your stuff?
You guys can follow me at Emily Knows Everything. Emilie knows everything. And then all of the deep dives are posted on Jessica Reed Krause House and Habit Substack.
Awesome. It was a pleasure to catch up and talk about all this stuff. Thank you very much for joining us.
Yeah, you guys are great. Thank you.
Well, till next time. See ya.
Bye.
That was crazy. That was a fun one. When more things happen and develop, we will have Emily back and talk more about all this crazy stuff. And there's so much more to get into with all that stuff. I love that you're brought up the Gate project stuff. That's another deep dive that we should go into.
I wanted to ask about another topic that's been floating around, but it's Linkin Park.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's going on there?
Scientology connections.
Yep.
The second song they released is better than the first one.
I like the first one.
I like the first one too. Yeah. I love Linkin Park.
Yep, I do too.
I was extremely distraught when Chester died.
Yep.
It was such a bummer. I love that band.
And but there was already a lot of strange stuff about them because of him, not just the like, oh, he looks a lot like such and such, but like the titles of songs, the title of the band is a reference to a specific location.
And the lore of that band is that they were put together. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't like an organic thing with Chester. Chester was, I think, brought on at some
selected,
point.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you make of it? What do you think?
I don't know, but it is weird that like you have that, and then you're like, we've got this new out from nowhere singer, like I don't want to say an obscure band, but kind of.
It was pretty
band.
obscure. Yeah.
But then there's like, oh, Danny Masterson, and like
immediately, and the way they were able to spin that narrative so quickly,
and then like, and I was like, I don't know, and then I saw the open letter written by from Hector.
Her? Oh, okay, yeah.
And it was like, holy moly. And like, and if anybody knows anything about like weird witchcraft and sex magic, it's him. Yeah. So,
yeah, it's bizarre. Everything just seems so manufactured these days. Yeah, it's like.
Well, I'd say yes, but I feel like you see that post a lot where it's like things aren't getting worse; you're just seeing it for what it is, and that is true to an extent.
And what it is it's everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's all over the place.
Yeah, and it always has been. Like you were saying about like read your Bible because you'll find out that there's nothing new under the sun. Mm-hmm. That's the same dark stuff. It's the same goals. It's just a different means of getting there. It's new technology.
Right. We just look modern now. Yeah. We're in cars and glass buildings. You're still got evil out there, and they're operating just as barbarically as they've been since the beginning of time. Yeah, it's unavoidable.
And like my big like issue is that like the power that they have and wield is given to them by us, and it's like the love and admiration that like millions give. If they didn't, then this would not be a ruse that works.
Right. Yeah. And that's why they like us being complacent with materialism, with drugs, with TV, the phones. Everything has been a way to make us divorced from the real reality.
Yeah. And like everything's just like in the days of old, like the days of Noah, it's like everybody was always looking for a king and a hero, and they rejected the king that came, and they try to replace him with, mortals, and it doesn't. They're not an infallible son of God. So like,
don't play God.
Yeah, it's like, but it's always that. Like even I'm gonna get biblical, but even in Israel, like he they demanded a king, like during the theocracy. They're like, we want a human king that does things like the other nation's human king.
Right.
It was like, okay, you can have Saul, and look how that turned out, you know?
Right.
And that's what every single person is doing today. Like, we want Trump to be that. We want that, like, whatever celebrity be like, oh my gosh, I just wish that person was in charge.
Just
and it's
save
like,
us. Just save
save us.
No one's going to save you.
Nope.
It's just God.
Yep.
And it's on you. And that's it. You got to stop waiting for someone to save you. It's just not how it works. People...
You got to stop waiting for a man to save you.
Exactly.
Like,
and anyone, just look at history, look at all the people, all the celebrities and writers who've promoted certain politicians. And it's fine to get behind someone and say, I want to vote for this person, da, da, da. But then they turn them into an idol, like, you know, with Harris, back to, you name anyone back in the day, they will always let you down.
Yep.
Constantly. The machine is too big and evil to be cured overnight or in 4 years, which is technically overnight in, you know, DC time. So I think watching everyone wake up to the evil, though, is part of the revival of God and good, and bringing daylight back into where there's mostly been darkness.
There's a YouTube channel called What Do You Meme? I don't know if you've ever heard of it. He's like I guess you would call him an apologist.
Okay.
But he like covers pop culture and stuff. Seems like a really good guy. He was covering this particular topic and said, like, this is an easy time for people that are believers to get discouraged, because they're probably going to watch another person who has done allegedly terrible things walk away unscathed. And he was like, you just have to keep reminding yourself that, like, nobody escapes God's justice in the end. And it's good. like that's the overall point is, like, if you lose hope there, you lose will to fight, you lose will to like take the Great Commission and try to. You're not told, like, during a lot of people, you see this a lot of people in the end times discussions are like, everything's screwed, or they're like, we win in the end. And it's like, you have to find a happy medium of, like, you have a role to play in that. Like, you have you're living the way you are called to live is part of the victory in the end. And it's like, these things are on a time, they are timed in a way that is not relevant to your understanding.
That's well put. And also being aware of the evil only helps me grow in my faith. And that's it. You know, you can do our best to fight back and against the evil powers that be, but in the end, it's just you and God.
Yep.
And hopefully you build a better future and a foundation in your children for them to do the same, as that they inherit the world that will be as evil as it was for my grandparents and great grandparents, and it is for us.
Yeah, and changing the world starts changing yourself.
Boom. That's a good way to end this, dude. Where can people find you?
You can find me on boonieshq.com.
Sick. And I'm Shane Cashman everywhere. We'll be back on Sunday. We got Ken Susi on talking about some really fun stuff about some haunted houses in Salem up in Massachusetts. For those who don't know, Ken Susi's the guitar player, one of my favorite bands. Two bands, technically. He started the band Unearth and is now playing guitar for As They Lay Dying. So for those who like metal, you'll know those names. But he's awesome. We're going to have a really fun show on Sunday. We'll see you all then.